So in this week's topic, we have leadership. Now, I want to bring you charisma as a way to increase your leadership skills. Many people think that charisma is something that is unchangeable. It's either you have it or you don't. However, that is simply not true. Charismatic people are impacting the world either by starting new projects or new companies or even building new empires. Have you ever wondered what it would feel like to be as magnetic as Marilyn Monroe? How about as captivating as Elvis Presley? Whether you have some charisma already and you want to bring it to the next level, or you just have been wishing to taste that magic, but you just think, I'm not the charisma type, I have good news for you. Charisma is something that you can learn and practice. And not just that, but I have even better news. You don't have to be as good looking as Elvis Presley to be charismatic. And if you don't believe me, please take my friend Winston Churchill for an example, because he was a great charismatic leader, and to be honest, he was very good looking. Charisma has three essential components: presence, power, and warmth. I want to give you some specific tips on presence, and also later in the presentation, I will guide you through an exercise to improve our power and warmth. So for presence, I want you to take a second and imagine that your ears are satellite dishes that are passively registering every single sound around you. By doing so, you're gonna put your mind into that instead of letting it go with your thoughts. Try to listen to everything that is going on around you, from those keywords to everything else. Another thing that is extremely good for presence is breathing. Breathing is gonna be the door to presence every time. Feel how your ribcage expands and how it contracts or relaxes. That's always gonna bring you to the present moment. Now, a personal favorite of mine is the tip of your toes. Can you feel the tip of your toes? Can you move the tip of your toes? Sometimes if you have trouble and your mind is thinking about something else, you're thinking about how your toes feel can bring you back to the present moment. So you can use that as a technique to bring you back. What your mind believes, your body manifests. There was a study done by Ellen Langer in Harvard where she put together a group of elderly and they were in their nursing home. What she did is she decorated absolutely everything like it was back in their 20s. From the music they were listening to the food they were eating. Surprisingly, after some weeks, they showed better skin, tighter skin, they showed better eyesight, they showed improved muscle strength, and even better bone density. That's how much it can impact. We also have poison ivy. There was an experiment done in poison ivy where patients were told that they were wrapped with poison ivy. However, they were only wrapped with a normal leaf, nothing about that. And what happened? They all developed a rash in the spot where they were wrapped with. So that's how much it can impact. Now, this is one way that it works. It's your mind impacts your body. Now, I want to bring you through something different because there's also a possibility of using your body to change your mind. So I want to bring you something different. We're actually gonna do this quick exercise. So we're gonna put it into practice. And first, what we're gonna do is I want you to adopt the position of a person that is extremely depressed. So please go with me. Let your shoulders slap, okay? Your head hang, get on this position, your face sag. Okay, now without moving a single muscle, I want you to feel extremely excited. Come on, try. Try to feel very excited. It's nearly impossible, okay? So now I want to try something different. I want you please to stand up with me. We're gonna increase our power and warmth. So this works for confidence and assertiveness. I want you to imagine that you're playing the role of a military general. I want you to take a wide stance. I want you to straighten your back and puff your chest up. Now I want you to put your hands back and confident. Now see how you feel inside for a moment. Okay? Now for a boost in energy and warmth, we're gonna stand up, we're gonna stretch our hands as high as possible, and we're gonna give the biggest smile that we possibly can. Exhale, hold it for a second. All right, relax. Whoa. Okay, so these are just some techniques that you can use, and I have personally used in business settings before giving a presentation, before giving a proposal to my president. These are things that you can actually use. You can alter your internal states, and as a consequence, have a great meeting or a great presentation and convey what you're trying to convey and be successful. So I hope that this helped you in any way, and go and do it. Thank you.
What do you think you about?
I think I didn't forget how much, which was awesome because there was a lot into it, but since last time's feedback, I was like, no, you're not gonna give them like the whole book. You're gonna pick one or two and you're gonna show that. So I think maybe making a little more condensed was something good that I did.
Would you like that you did well?
What is it?
Like, what did you like about the presentation?
I like that it was a little more interactive than just giving a presentation on informational stuff. Yes, it was informational, but at the same time, I was able to bring the audience with me a little bit on those exercises, which is something that me personally, I haven't done in the past. So it was something new for me. Yeah.
Great content, right? It was fun, great exercises. You're really passionate about IO. It's really obvious, but the cool thing I thought about this presentation, you did not take yourself seriously at all, and it was really cool to like watch. You're like, or Marilyn Monroe, and then like call Winston Churchill ugly. Like it was funny, and it was like cool to see you not like so intense yelling at us about whatever it was last week. But it made it more engaging, it made it more captivating, it made it like I was paying attention the entire time. I was like, we have to take ourselves seriously. This is fun. This is cool. So it was a really good job of balancing like great information, great facts, and then just having fun with yourself because it looked like you're having fun.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I was gonna say I love how much you took the feedback and coaching to heart, and you took a complicated subject and you incorporated the senses more than I think I've seen anyone else do it yet this year or semester. So like that was just really cool to watch you do that, and there's just a lot of things that I'm going to remember because of that attachment of senses to the learning objectives that you had for us. So it was really cool. It was really well done.
So thank you so much.
So I felt fully engaged within the entire concept of your presentation. Something that I really, really also enjoyed, like Tim said, that I'm going to be able to actually take some of those tips and actually just input them, not into just presentations, but everyday life. Like something as simple as like the toe thing. Like I've never thought about that, but just thinking about that is going to make me think like, oh, Gonz presentation. And so I just think that was really good.
That's the best thing possible that you can use on it. Thank you. Yeah.
First off, black and yellow color theme. Like, did you pick it up with this? It's very gaudy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's very.
I don't have a history on like Facebook, the 412. So black and yellow, black and yellow.
All right. Yeah. So. Yep. That's hilarious. So speaking of which, hilarious slides. Yeah. Marilyn Monroe, Elvis, Churchill, even there was this hilarious activity, we all did together, and it's very convincing that you are the one presenting this number because you demonstrated charisma in this presentation. Yeah, and the slides, right, compared to the previous presentation, this is much cleaner, much more concise, very great use of visuals. Yes, and it, the presentation reminds me of Amy Cuddy's TED Talk of Powerful. So
Yeah.
check it out. It's
Yeah, actually, that power post that you're talking about is kind of that one that we were doing. Actually, I used to do it like every single morning.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I saw you did that in the retreat.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's very great job.
Thank you so much.
Did anyone ask you what you felt could have gone better?
No,
What could have gone better?
actually, like myself. Like I feel like he has great acting skills. Yes. I feel like I can put even more to it. I had it practiced all right, more than last time, but I feel like I could have even, be a little more emphasizing certain things or using my voice to bring one way or the other. I feel like that I could have brought it to another level, which I'm not there yet.
Definitely looked like you were trying something new, right?
Yeah.
Like you were trying to, like George was saying, like you were changing your body tone, your language when you're changing slides, kind of thing. Like trying to impersonate Elvis, and yeah, that was good. And I really appreciate you trying to transition the slides without looking at them. Like I think you only looked at the slides twice to like make sure the clicker was
I
working.
knew you were gonna be counting.
So I think it was really good. What was your practice method look like?
My practice method, I would start, finding the idea that I want to convey, the topic that I'm going to talk about, and then I will start writing, like just on a Word document, got my thoughts in there, then structuring, reorganizing them, seeing what to take out, what to put in. Then I build the slides based on that document, and then once I have that, I start like practicing. And
What
then
day did
just
you
like
start?
Huh?
What day did you start?
What part?
Like you said, okay, today I'm going to start this presentation. What day was that?
Probably Sunday, maybe Monday.
Yeah, cool. I think you did great. It was very captivating. My one critique would be when you do an exercise like we did, it's telling everyone to sit down. Because it was like kind of like this awkward, like we're all like, oh, should we be sitting down? Like, is it over? Sort of thing. So directing the group.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was bad. Just a little critique.
Yeah, the critique that I have is, it's totally fine for the presentation not to work with us, because like you can figure it out. I'm just curious like how you can avoid that in the future if you're gonna present to like an executive board, like how would you play through that? Like what would that look like if this had happened? Like how would you recover in the moment, and or how can we make sure that that doesn't happen next time?
Can you like rephrase the question?
Well, so
He's talking about
your
the
presentation didn't work.
the actual PDF situation.
Oh,
Yeah, so I'm just curious, in the moment, how would you react if you're in front of a senior VP? And what can you do to make sure that that doesn't happen next time?
it would not happen because I would go first to where place. I would make sure that everything is ready to go. Because of the fact that we're in a class that is closed, or we're in a different class, this one is occupied, then we come in, then we have a first presenter. They're putting their stuff. So what I could have done better is to actually come in here myself first. First thing as soon as I get into the classroom and plug it in and see if it works or if it doesn't. So it doesn't happen at that point. But yeah, that should not happen.
Yeah, and it did, I'm just curious, because I feel like you could have still given it, like, if you were to, would you have given it, or like, would you just leave? I don't know if anyone else.
Oh, I mean, I would have totally do it. Like it would still scroll down in
Yeah.
that PDF. I would have just, scroll down through it, I guess.
I think you could have still done it even without it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, flip up the presentation.
That's true, yeah.
Like, it still would have been still impactful.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, because it was an awesome presentation, I was just curious. That's the issue.
Just speaking to those logistics, because this kind of stuff has happened to me before, with a PDF, if you can maximize it to the full screen, even as a PDF, if you hit page down or next screen, it won't scroll, it'll flip to the next page. So you still do have quite a bit of control, and it could look exactly like a PowerPoint or Canva. So just knowing that even with a clicker, sometimes you can get it to advance to the next page. So there are multiple options for success. So I would echo, sorry, go ahead.
No, it was just like, it was surprising because that's
Yeah.
exactly what I did on the first presentation. It was a PDF, and even just starting with that, it would like go on to the next one. But I think I didn't push it towards using the clicker,
Right.
and yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, so there are different options there. Something I appreciate Tim asking, like, what would you do? Because there are occasions where you're just rushed into a room, you're told that you didn't have a place to prepare, or they had to move it, like things happen, where the adaptability is really important. And I totally agree that either you could have scrolled, you could have paged down, or you could have scrapped it all together and say, hey, I'm just gonna stand in front of you and talk. And you would have killed it. All that was fine. I'm really glad that you didn't let it get to you. I mean, you reset yourself well, and you took care of your presentation really well. I appreciated that. The telling everyone to sit down, I think, was a good point. I wrote the same thing, just to give more direction. But I would extend it beyond that and to say, like, taking more control in that leading us in an exercise. Everyone feels pretty vulnerable when they're doing an exercise like that, a physical movement.
Yeah.
So being even more present, coming out further and not reading back to your book. We need you. We need to lean on you more as a presenter when we actually have to engage in an activity like that. So be even more present than you would for a normal presentation. Forget the book, like just be here. If you forget some line or one word, who cares? We need you in that. We don't have a crutch of anything on the board, and we're already like outside of maybe our normal expected comfort zone of just sitting and passively listening. So just take that into consideration.
Just great feedback, because if I didn't put myself in this situation, because I've never done an exercise where I bring the audience in, I wouldn't know, how to improve it.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. You did an awesome job. Thank you. I appreciate it. Good job. Sorry, Justin.
I have just one comment. With the little hiccup at the beginning, it might be helpful in some cases to save it as different file types initially, so that you have them as backups. I know in the architecture building, we have things happen all the time where we have printers that are set to just print JPEGs or just print PDFs.
Yeah.
And we don't always know which it is before we get there, so we save it as both and then go to the printer. And so when you're in an uncertain setting in the future, it might be helpful just to
Great idea.
consider a couple different options.
Good. Good job. Thank you.